Breaking is becoming a real popular sport, thanks in part to the exposure there at the Summer Games in Paris. Joining now this afternoon is Etienne Carreira. And Etienne, I really appreciate you coming in, owner of Alchemy Breaking Academy. When we talk about breakdancing, people might not know this, but Las Vegas is the premier, I guess, school to teach kids how to become breakers. And Las Vegas outclasses all the rest of the cities in the country.
Yeah, Vegas has a rich history in breaking, stemming back to the 90s, but more importantly from the 2000s and up. We have 3 major crews that have traveled and battled on the international stage, and they're world-class crews. And from that, we've built the next generation.
What has allowed Vegas to sustain this sport and for it to continue to grow? Because there have been multiple sports that have blossomed all over the place, but that Vegas is still the hub for this sport.
I think it's just what I said before. It's the 3 major crews that moved into educating. A lot of places don't have that much of a concentration of high-level crews and high-level teachers, and we just decided, each independently decided to pass it on to the next generation.
I want to ask about your project you got going, ATL. What are you guys doing? You're actually putting together a documentary on breaking. Talk about how that's going. What kind of prompted that to take place for you guys?
Yes, sir. It's more of a sports entertainment packaged show where you can get to know the competitors, see their personal lives, get to know their personal characters, and then see what they do in a battle setting. And also, it has an understandable judging system. I think what a lot of people in our scene fail to do is make it consumable for the everyday person.
What is the biggest misconception with this sport? I imagine something like that would expose some of the things and bring more education to maybe not the average Joe breaker.
People still think of breaking as cardboard and boomboxes and fat laces in New York City of the 80s, and it has evolved into so much more. I mean, we were at the Olympics. It's what these kids and competitors are doing now seemed to be impossible back in the days of the 80s. It has elevated to unimaginable heights.
You know, people might not know this, but breaking was actually started back in New York, right? Started in New York. So it goes to the games in Paris. Now you got the 2028 games here in Los Angeles, and for some crazy, odd reason, it's not included. What are your thoughts on that?
So from what I know, it's a small community in breaking, so everybody talks. I know a lot of the people involved in the Olympic field, and LA 2028 decided that they wanted to go with flag football, and it's because of sponsorship. Breaking isn't there yet in the mainstream, and I truly don't believe that it was ready for a stage like the Olympics as far as infrastructure and organization.
So what needs to happen in order for that to happen in the next Olympic cycle come 2032? That
is a great question. I am not too sure, to be honest. I think it was scheduled for 2032, but I think the LA 2028 thing kind of threw a monkey wrench in the whole plan. It was slated, it was so important for it to be picked up by the LA Olympics, because if it's in 3 consecutive Olympics, it's grandfathered in to be a core Olympic sport, and that's what they were shooting for. So I'm not too sure. I think things like we're doing, creating a fan base, I think will help with the bottom line to get it back in the Olympics. But ultimately, I don't really think it belongs in the Olympics. I really view it as sports entertainment, not just strict sport. It's a hybrid.
All right, before we let you go, Etienne, let me ask you about this. You got your Alchemy, which is the top club really here and school in the country. You got Jabberwockies here in Las Vegas. How many have come from, say, your group into the Jabberwockies, that kind of a platform?
So we've been around for 6 years now, and actually going on 7 years now. It's 2026, but our oldest is still 16.
Oh, okay.
So we haven't had anyone graduate, but myself and my brother, who are co-owners and co-head coaches, worked for the Jabberwockies back in the early days in 2010 in their first show. So like I said, it's a very tightly knit community. Everybody knows everybody in the dance and hip hop scene.
how sweet it is to see so many little ones get into breakdancing. I know Chris's grandsons are loving it too, but for them to help grow this sport, because ultimately they are the next generation that will hopefully help this continue to grow.
No, absolutely. And Chris's grandson is amazing.
Oh, Chris, proud grandpa.
How much do I owe him?
No, I'm not blowing smoke. Cash is unreal. He's a very high level competitor. I've taught him. I've gotten the opportunity to teach him in the summer and stuff when he comes out to visit. And to answer your question, it's super important to pass it on to the next generation and for them to take where we left off and build.
All right. Etienne, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
We appreciate that. Thank you very much.